Live from the Xfinity Center, I'm Luke Brown here with Brody and Donovan, and we are talking NBA, specifically the Eastern Conference. Here we're in the beautiful city of Philadelphia, but the Sixers obviously bouncing out of the playoffs in the Eastern Conference Final, not going to the finals today. We're talking about the best teams in the Eastern Conference, and Brody, let's give it right over to you.
For me, it's still the Celtics. They made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. Unfortunately, they did not win, going down 3-0 to begin with. But going into next season, they're still the most powerful team in the East, which I think was the consensus last season. But there is a big question mark for them, which is Jaylen Brown. But whether or not they get him back, re-signing him to that Ultra Max, we'll see. But I think with or without him, they'll still be the best team in the East.
And remember, you can give your take by calling the number 717-648-9455. But first, Donovan, your best team in the NBA Eastern Conference.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go with the Milwaukee Bucks. You have arguably the best player in basketball in Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he makes everyone around him better, whether it's Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, Brook Lopez. And you have Chris Middleton entering free agency this year. I think signing him back would be huge and finding a competent head coach.
Yeah, and it looks like we have an audience question from our audience here.
I'm Eric here. What if Giannis wants out of Milwaukee? What do you think would happen then with them?
Yeah, obviously that's a big player leaving the Bucks, a player who won the Finals MVP last season. I mean, the Celtics have had a couple run-ins with the Bucks throughout the playoffs. What are your thoughts?
Without Giannis, the Bucks are a whole different team. He's their clear number one superstar, and they would just, if they were to lose him, maybe in a trade, or if you were to leave in free agency, they would need a star to replace him to be a competent team. Chris Middleton is good, and Drew Holiday is also good, but it's just not enough to replace Giannis.
Yeah, Giannis Antetokounmpo, obviously also veteran presence in the locker room. Another audience question from the left side.
So, with Celtics, you have Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. What do you do about those two superstars? Which one would you keep?
You're our Celtics guy. I'll go right back to you, Brody.
Yeah, for me, it's definitely Tatum. He has been that number one player for the last couple of years for the Celtics, and I think it's been clear in this offseason they are going to roll with Tatum over Jaylen Brown. Jaylen Brown's also a great star, but Tatum is the centerpiece and that superstar in that Celtics team. I mean, and it's not like he's alone. You have Malcolm Brogdon, who won Sixth Player of the Year last year, Marcus Smart, who had a great year coming off a Defensive Player of the Year a couple years ago, and he's not alone, but Jaylen Brown would definitely help him out.
Yeah, obviously a lot of guys in that locker room, but I mean, your thoughts on our question from the audience?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to agree with Brody. It's Tatum. He's been the guy there since they drafted him. I don't think anything's changing that.
Another audience question.
The Knicks have emerged as a really good team in the East. What do you think they have to do in order to become fully contenders?
I mean, that's a good question. It seems like they're sort of struggling to get over that hump and go to the NBA Finals. But Donovan, I'll go back to you.
Yeah, I think they're in a good spot right now. R.J. Barrett isn't playing third overall pick worthy, but I think if you can look to add a piece like DeAndre Ayton maybe or Zion Williamson, get a defined big in there with Randall possibly leaving, I think they could be in a good spot. Probably shooting too is their other problem.
Yeah, that's definitely an interesting possibility. Is entertaining. I mean, Tobias Harris trade talks are entertaining with the Sixers as well as Zion Williamson in New Orleans. But that's going to wrap it up. We're going to go to break. We'll be back on ESPN Radio live from the Xfinity Center.